Welcome to today's Clash of Clans video where we are looking at the bat spell. You guys know that it still is viable, you just have to pick your bases a little bit more sparingly and be sure to use it at the right time. So in today's video we're focusing on Town Hall 10, giving you lots of tips and tricks on how to use that bat spell to still get the 3 stars using dragons. Let's get into it. Alrighty guys, the DRAGBAT at Town Hall 10. Let's give you as many tips and tricks as we can to ensure that you can take this down. Now, a brilliant war this was between White Temple and the Packer War Clan in the MLCW. White Temple not quite getting the victory on this one, but a brilliant war by both sides. If you want to join White Temple, be sure to check out my Discord. Now, getting into the first attack, we actually have a fantastic bowler bounce to get not just 1 air defense, but 2 air defense. We can take them out from either side, and that's going to give us huge value. What we're also doing is taking out the corners of the base here basically, and that's going to narrow the path so that when we bring the dragons in, they can focus through the middle of the base itself, which is going to be helpful, and we will simplify this as we go through. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. You can hit the notification bell as well in order to see my videos as soon as they go live. Now, in terms of the DRAGBAT, basically what you can now do in what has basically been a lot more effective for us is merging the bat spell in with the actual attack. Now, it's not that you don't have to do this, you can still use the bat spell as a kill squad in itself, but as the dragons are coming through, you can use the bat spells on the back end to take out some defenses and then kind of merge in. The bats can protect the dragons, which can protect the bats. It kind of works hand in hand. So you can see the wizard tower goes down first here. Now, anytime you have the splash damage there, it's kind of in 99% of the situation, it's best to deploy onto the splash damage. Then you get that down and the bats can spread from there. Now, in this one, they did kind of move off to the right and the left and ended up splitting up, but the dragons split up anyway, and ultimately we just wanted that bottom side of the base down, which is what happened. The dragons can just finish off, but we can simplify that even further in terms of the DRAGBAT as well, which you'll see in the next attack. Any of you guys that have used miners at Town Hall 10, the DRAGBAT works in a very similar way, and again, it's very much to do with the meta in terms of using the multi-infernos to try and protect against the bats, protect against the Lalo. You can kind of get away with using the dragons. So how do we simplify it? How is it similar to miners? Now, you've probably seen this in terms of setting up the miners. For the dragons, it's very similar to the miners that were attacking from a flat side and basically coming through the base itself. So you can use your heroes, the queen on one side of the base, the king on the other side of the base, and again, that is going to narrow the path that the dragons have to come through the base. They can get straight onto the defenses, and again, you can see that taking place now. Now, the Stone Slammer is probably the best siege machine to use alongside this. It's not that any of the others wouldn't work, but the Stone Slammer can easily merge in with the dragons and then a couple of trailing loons that you want to have to check for bombs. It can do some damage. You can use it to open walls for your heroes if necessary, and ultimately, it's just the best siege machine. Now, coming to the back end, you can often do this in terms of using the lava hounds to come across and help tank for the bat. So you will see that we froze the single inferno there in order to try and protect the lava hound and let the bats do their job. Now, you can see that by taking out this top section of the base with the bats, we control the dragons through the bottom section of the base, and anytime you can control the pathing of the dragons, that's going to help out. So just means you can control your rage spells a little bit as well. You're probably only going to have 1 at most for the dragons, but the lava hound can be very helpful. Even on them initial pushes with the bat spell, you can use the lava hound to cut across defenses and then spread the bats in. And again, if done correctly, you'll probably be sweeping from one side of the base to the other with the dragons. You should be okay on time, especially if you've got that funnel correct. You should be okay. So this is going to be the final DRAGBAT attack of the episode. We do have a nice lava loom, which I'll show you just to wrap up. But again, just look at how I mean, this is a similar base design, isn't it? But again, we're going to set the funnel for the dragons. They're far better when they are kind of spread out a little bit, but not too far spread out. So again, the queen is going to be used to take out this side of the base, king to take out this side of the base, and we've narrowed that path straight away for the dragons to come through. They can concentrate on the defenses, and you'll see again how the Lava Hound can be used to tank the bat spell. So once the dragons come in, basically once we get that air defense down, you can see that the Stone Slammer is a nice troop to try and bring in to target the single and ultimately try and distract it. So anytime you can merge in a couple of balloons, it's always nice. You can see the black air bomb just went off onto the dragon, and ultimately if you can use 5 troop space to set off them black bombs, it's going to be helpful. Stone Slammer actually gets pushed down the bottom, but we did use the Rage spell to push up to the Inferno Tower, and not the Inferno Tower, the single Inferno Tower, yes, and take that down. Getting mixed up, guys. Again, you can see the multi-Inferno on the back end is the splash damage, so ultimately we are freezing that. We're using the Rage, but you can see the Lava Hound here doing a fantastic job tanking for the Wizard Tower. Now, the Wizard Tower does do a number onto the bats, but again, look at what we did. We took out this section of the base with the bats to control the dragons through the defenses, because ultimately the dragons, if they start splitting up and spreading out, they are a lot less efficient. They work well in numbers when they can take down the defenses quickly and protect each other. Now on this base, granted, we could have used some cleanup troops up the top here, because we are sending the dragons around in a C shape a little bit, and what you want to try and do is send them from one side of the base straight across to the other, so that it's more efficient on time. However, if you can take down them defenses appropriately, it doesn't matter. As long as you can get the base down, that is all what counts. So that's the DRAGBAT attacks at Town Hall 10. We've basically used them setting up that funnel nice and easy, and then from there you're basically using the bat spell on the back end to take out some of the defenses and basically an area of the base, but you've still got to be wary of the splash. Now in terms of the Lava Loon, you guys have all seen DJ. He's an absolute beast, coming in with a kill squad initially here, but what exactly is he going to get? So the funnel gets set very nicely, using that bowler to help bounce as well. We have the golem onto the cannon here, but once that goes down, obviously the golem can reroute into the base in order to tank for the heroes. So there we are, heroes come in right as that golem comes in. We're going to get a multi, the CC and the queen here, as well as cutting out a section of the base in this top area. And one you can do that, it's going to help you with your attack basically, because we've cut out the defenses, we can control the pathing of the Lalo, and we've also taken out the air sweeper that was here. So naturally you then want to come in from behind the sweeper over on the left hand side of the base here, but we might even get fortunate. I can't remember, it was a couple of days ago I watched this attack. Looks like the queen is going to get that. So from that push, I mean, just look at everything that we took out in that section. It's so simple now for DJ to just come right around the bottom section of the base here and take that all out. So a couple of hounds come in. Obviously they're coming all the way across the base to the air defense, so we do have to be careful with the balloons coming in. We've got to use them haste to get them onto the defenses quickly, and clearly we need to wait until the hounds come across to these air defense on the other side of the base before we start trying to do anything else. So we are going to use a lot of haste spells in this area, a lot of other spells, to make sure that when the tankage from the lava hounds is gone, because the lava hound, like I said, went across to that air defense, left the balloons vulnerable, we then have to have a plan for that. So in comes the spells on the back end, pretty much swagging what he can here, DJ, using that heal spell just for the sake of it, and he obviously has cleanup troops right around the base here, not even close. A fantastic lava loon attack, so clearly why I wanted to bring that to you. But that is going to wrap it up for this one. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, it's just there. But until next time, peace out.